Tesla isn't stuck, and the market isn't confused. What we're seeing right now is something much more important. The market is in the middle of redefining how Tesla should be valued. This week didn't give us a clear bullish or bearish answer, but it did show us where investors are quietly shifting their focus. Hi, this is Ken. If you're watching Tesla and thinking, why does the stock move so much but go nowhere? Or am I missing something everyone else sees? You're not alone. In this video, I'm not telling you to buy or sell. Instead, I'll help you understand what the market is actually trying to figure out right now. Once you see that structure, the recent price action starts to make a lot more sense. Let's quickly ground this in facts. Tesla started the week around the $438 level. Early in the week, we saw selling pressure push it down into the low 400s and 30s. Then momentum flipped. By the second half of the week, Tesla climbed back up and briefly touched the 449 range, but it didn't break out. The stock finished the week around $445. Wide swings, strong reactions, but no clear direction. That combination is the most important signal of the week. A lot of people describe this kind of market as indecision. I don't think that's accurate. Indecision implies hesitation. What we're seeing instead is evaluation in progress. Tesla is no longer being priced off a single metric, not deliveries, not margins, not one analyst note or one autonomy headline. The stock is moving because different investors are testing different valuation frameworks at the same time. That creates volatility without resolution. And that's exactly what this week looked like. This also explains something that feels strange if you've followed Tesla for years. Good news doesn't explode the stock anymore. Bad news doesn't crash it either. That doesn't mean Tesla has lost excitement. It means the market is no longer reacting emotionally to isolated inputs. Instead, it's waiting for something more structural. For a long time, Tesla was evaluated using what I call short answer metrics. How many cars were delivered this quarter? What happened to margins after price cuts? Did earnings beat or miss expectations? These questions have fast answers, and markets love fast answers. But Tesla's strategy has slowly moved beyond that framework. The company isn't just scaling production anymore. It's trying to scale utilization. How often assets are used, how much data they generate, how much real-world value they create over time. That kind of strategy doesn't show up cleanly in quarterly numbers, and that mismatch is exactly why the market feels unsettled right now. So what does this mean for investors right now? It means that the market isn't rewarding conviction yet, but it's also not punishing patience. Short-term traders are reacting to headlines and price levels. Mid-term investors are watching autonomy progress and regulatory signals. Long-term investors are focused on something else entirely. They're asking one question: when does Tesla stop being valued as a product company and start being valued as a system? Until that answer becomes clearer, price action will remain unstable but resilient. And this is where many people feel uncomfortable, because markets usually feel safest when there's a clear narrative. Right now, there isn't one dominant story, but historically, these transition periods are where long-term opportunity is created. Here's an unexpected truth. The lack of a clear trend is not a sign that Tesla's story is weakening. It's a sign that Tesla has outgrown the old way the market knows how to value it. Most companies become more predictable as they mature. Tesla is doing the opposite. As autonomy, AI, and robotics move closer to real-world deployment, the company becomes harder to compress into simple models. Ironically, That uncertainty is what keeps the downside limited, because no one wants to fully exit before the picture becomes clearer. Once you see that, this week's price action starts to feel less chaotic. It wasn't a battle between bulls and bears. It was a pause while the market asked better questions. Now, let's shift the time frame. In the one-year view, Tesla's stock will continue to react to emotion, headlines, analyst commentary, macro narratives, all of that still matters. In the 3-year view, the focus changes. Autonomy stops being about demos and promises. It becomes about actual deployment. Which regions allow it? At what autonomy level? Under what conditions? That's when valuation starts to hinge on real-world usage, not potential. And in the 5-year view, the framework shifts completely. It's no longer about how many cars Tesla sells. It's about how many hours its systems operate, how often vehicles are used as transportation services, how much data those systems generate, how much economic value they produce continuously. That's the same logic that applies to humanoid robots as well. Not how many units are sold, but how much real work they perform. In both mobility and labor, Tesla is targeting operating AI, not hardware. When you look at Tesla through that lens, this market suddenly makes sense. Different investors are looking at the same company, but through completely different time horizons. That's why there's no consensus. That's why answers feel incomplete. This isn't a moment to force a conclusion. It's a moment to refine your framework. Long-term investing isn't about reacting faster. It's about understanding deeper. This week may look noisy in hindsight, but it could easily be remembered as a quiet turning point. Not because of what happened on the chart, but because of what started to change beneath it. The structure is evolving, and structure always moves before prices do. If this perspective helped you see Tesla more clearly, feel free to leave a like. It really supports the channel. I share daily analysis focused on long-term structure, not short-term noise. If you want to keep thinking about Tesla beyond the headlines, consider subscribing. As always, take your time, think long-term, and enjoy the future we're watching unfold. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.